friends, welcome back to my channel. It's that time of year again. As you can see behind me, the dahlias are out in full bloom. And I've had a real difficult time trying to decide what my top 10 are for 2024 because there's so many really nice ones, and I've gone with a lot of new ones this year, as well as obviously keeping my favourites from previous years, but a lot of the new ones I actually really like. So these are going to be in no particular order. I love them all sort of equally. They all have their different purposes and everything, but just go through each one individually and tell you what I like about the colours and what is good about the stem length and which ones are good for weddings, which one are good for bouquets, that kind of thing. So the first one that is actually a new one for me, which I have adored this year, has been Dutch Pearl. So it's quite a big headed flower and really nice decorative dahlia, like a warm salmon pink colour. It was one of the first of my dahlias to actually flower this year, and I have cut it on multiple occasions so far, and it's kept coming, and there's still now loads again, so it's really prolific, and the colour is really unusual, almost like a terracotta colour. Hopefully you'll be able to tell on video what it is like, because it's such a beautiful tone and really unusual for a flower. Next one, and this was on actually nearly on my list every single year, but I just think it's the most beautiful dahlia. Really nice pale lilac colour, Megan Dean. And I love her so much. Really soft, really romantic, like a very pale shade of lilac, which is quite an unusual colour. So she is just fantastic. Number 3, Joey Nicky. I grew this one, quite a lot of this last year for the first time, because I thought I maybe had enough sort of that orange tone and didn't really add this one in. But this one is not just like an orange, it's like a peachy orange sunset colour with massive big head that is really useful for like posies, really useful in weddings, lasts really well out of water. Just a really fantastic dahlia that I absolutely adore, and I kept loads of mine from last year over the winter in a shed, frost-free shed, and I split them, and I got so many more from like the one tuber. So it's just a really prolific, wonderful dahlia, and I will now always grow Joey Nicky. Like, I love all the Joeys, to be honest, but Joey Nicky is probably one of my favourites, well, as well as Joey Winnie, but Joey Nicky is really up there. I'm quite partial to those orangey, yellow peachy tones. Another one, Great Silence. It is probably my tallest dahlia with the longest stems, apart from maybe Wine-Eyed Jill, which is always very tall. But this one is just gorgeous. It's like a rose gold, or rose, yeah, it's got gold tint to it. It's really something else. Last year it lasted the longest as well, so I was cutting it all season last year, and right until the very first frost it was still going, and it was still looking fantastic. It's definitely one of the best for longevity and for looks as well. And like whenever you look back here, it sort of sticks up. You can kind of see it and you're like, there's Great Silence. So it's a really good dahlia. Preference, this is one of the cactus ones. Cactus ones wouldn't always be my favourite dahlia kind of type, but sometimes it's just, you just get that perfect colour, and the preference is like the lightest pink peachy colour, which is probably one of my most popular colours when doing weddings. And it actually has like whenever it opens up nicely, it has a really nice yellow centre, and it's a very beautiful dahlia. It has really long stems as well. It's really good for cutting, and it's just a real winner. This is actually a new one for me this year, Silver Years. And actually the name is actually really good in terms of, it does have like a silvery kind of tint to it, but I would say it's quite creamy white. So it's nice to have that kind of neutral colour of dahlia. It's actually got like if you look carefully, it has like wee bits of purpley veins through it. So it's a really nice one, and the shape's lovely, and it's not actually massive head, so it just sits really well in bouquets. It's just a nice all-rounder, just a really delicate and pretty flower. Really love it. One that's definitely like on my list for every year, Caitlin's Joy, and I have so much of it this year again because I find it really useful. I find it really lasts really well. The stems are really sturdy, really long, really thick. You're not getting these wee short dahlias. It's just a really good one. Now I would say it's like a rose pink colour. It's very nice. It's sometimes I find it like different, like I have it in actually two different sections here, and well, some of it's more of a rose pink colour and the next is a bit more of a purpley pink colour, both equally really beautiful, but yeah, it's a really fantastic one. Another one, this is a new one for me this year, is the Habit Pastel colour. Now I don't actually have very many of these because whenever I'm getting a new dahlia, I don't like to order too many tubers just in case when it arrives it doesn't work here in the soil, or it just doesn't look as nice as it looks online. But this one is actually one that I will probably get more of next year, and I will try and split the tuber from it. Habit Pastel, as the name suggests, is a very pastel colour, yellow, kind of pink, very nice, good big head on it as well, really pretty. I think a lot of the ones that I'm seem to like this year are very pinky and pastel and peachy tones. Must just be the season for it, but it's really nice. Future Vicky here. Turns out whenever we were editing the video, I realised that I'd forgotten to include number 9, which is actually one of my all-time favourite dahlias and features every single year on my top 10. Linda's Baby. I absolutely love her. She's so popular. I literally cannot grow enough of her, and I cannot believe I would have forgotten her. But yes, she's so pretty. Such a nice shade of pink, like a peachy pink. Very stunning dahlia. Anyway, back to number 10. And my final one of my top 10 is Sweet Nathalie. Now, I have always loved her. I don't know what it is about my tubers this year, but last year I found them all that they faced so forward that I found it really hard to get them to work in arrangements. Like the flower head was just too like a, I don't know, like a clock or something. But this year they're just sitting a lot nicer. They're just different. They're opening up really nice as well. So I am absolutely loving her this year. So that is my top 10. I have to say that outside of that, there are so many more that I absolutely adore. Like I couldn't be without the Cornell Bronze. I couldn't be without the Café au Lait. This year I've got the Café de Paris, which is a really gorgeous one too. Nice addition. And there's like loads and loads, and even looking back here, all the wee white tiny ball ones like the Snowflake and Petra's Wedding. Couldn't be without them. So many, but these are like my top 10 that this year have really just taken my fancy. And another one that I wasn't able to show you because I've cut it all is actually one I got from Dahlia Beach this year, and it's called Yvonne, which is kind of a nice name, but it's beautiful. It's like an apricot orange colour, but I can't show you that because I've cut it all, but it's really nice. So those are my top ones for this year. I hope that you are growing some dahlias. I hope they're doing really well for you. This was a bit of a strange year for all of us because of the weather at the start. It's nice and sunny now, but we've had a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy days. Temperatures have just not been the same, but as you can see, they've all come in the end, and it's an absolute sight whenever you can grow loads of dahlias and just make your life a bit better. So I will see you next time.